Hey, I just love those words from the Bible. Ask and it is given. Now, if all we could do was just accept that we could ask and what we want's given, well, wow, you know, it'd be so easy. Everything would be easy, everything would come. For those people who just play all day, follow their bliss and do the things that give them joy, live their hobbies, follow their dreams, all those sorts of things, they're the ones whose lives just unfold in perfect order, or seemingly. But you know, everybody's lives are unfolding in perfect order. But sometimes you can make things easier. It's something that we do sometimes to hold back this ease of things coming to us, the ease of things flowing to us. And if there's something that you've been wanting, and you've been wanting it for more than 30 days and it still hasn't come, you're doing this thing that I'm going to be talking about now. You will be doing something habitually every day, multiple times a day, that's holding back the benevolence. I've done it too, and I'm going to give you an example in a minute, how I've been holding the goodness and the goodwill that's natural in this universe to flow to me. All these little fantastic processes we can do to make things come to us. They don't actually make things come to us. All they do is help us enjoy the journey more, because those things are already given. From the moment that we ask, they're given, they're done, they're created somewhere in some form. The key to part of this is like when momentum has got you and you're heading in a positive direction, there are two ways you can live your life. You can go the easy way and go with the flow and make the changes and shift your perceptions and just have fun with life and relax and let it all be easy. Or you can dig into the past and you can hold on and you can focus on what's happened and you can create suffering for yourself. So there's two ways, two really distinct paths you can take. So I really love the easy part. Ease, pleasure, comfort, joy, they're some of the words that I focus on. They're some of the words that I've lived with for quite a few years. So I love easy. Sometimes we keep saying that things should be hard, and if it's not hard, it's not worth it. What a load of rubbish. I love easy. If you like it hard, go for it. But for me, I love easy, because Spirit, Source, God has that way of making things easy. It's us that makes it hard. It's us that wants to put the stoppers in our tracks. And if things haven't been coming within the 30 days, you know you've got a stopper in your track, and you know that you've done it to yourself. So when I say you've got to stop that thing that you've been doing to hold back the goodness, you'll know what it is you've been doing, what you've been doing every day on a daily basis. It might be a thought, it might be something you keep saying, it might be a doubt that you keep on expressing, but it's there and it's sitting there, and you think you've been ignoring it because you think, oh, this is so insignificant, this isn't stopping me, but it is. Because everything that's stopping us is never a big thing, it's always a really simple little thing. It's a simple little everyday habit that you've just grabbed onto, there's momentum around it, and you're using it as your excuse to stop yourself from going where you want to go. So change, transformation, quantum leaps, they only require little tiny shifts. But it just requires you to acknowledge it and then just change it. That's it. That's it. That's it. You don't have to work on it. You don't have to write it down. You don't have to make any affirmations about it. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. Life is so easy if you want it. Everybody's acting their own story right now. So you might just want to change that storyline just a little bit and stop doing that thing you've been doing that holds the goodness back. I wanted to give you an example of a funny way that I hold myself back. Now, I receive, and have been particularly in the last few weeks, but for most of my life, I've sort of intermittently received these little visions of how life was going to be for me. And in the last few weeks, I'm just receiving them several times a day. It's all really clear. People are starting to come up and show up in the experience and are joining the path too, and, you know, joining the energy that's associated with it. And it's just really exciting. I knew that my life was going to take off as quickly as a helicopter takes off, as quickly as a helicopter takes off the ground. It's, you know, it's up and it's off and it's out of there. And I know that this is going to happen. And I saw some movement last week of like, oh yes, I could see, physically see that my life was taking off. And then what I did, I kept on looking at the evidence that my life was taking off, like in this really big way. So I kept checking the Facebook likes on every post I was making. Now, how funny is that? Because that's an example of the things that hold us back. When we look for proof that something's changed, when we keep trying to find evidence that something's different, the evidence that you need to hold on to, the evidence that really matters, the evidence that makes the world of difference is how you feel. Is this thing that I'm doing, does this get my juices flowing? Does this rock my world? Does this make my heart thump? Does this feel like intense passion? Does this feel like deep, 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 beautiful love? That's when you know you're on track, not the evidence, because that just shows up. And you know what? As you're flowing with that momentum, that evidence becomes irrelevant because you are flowing so fully in that energy. We came here to experience the feeling. We came here, everything we want is because we want to feel good. We expect that we'll feel good when we have it. That's all we ever want, is to feel good. It's the basis of every goal you ever set, every desire you ever wish for, every dream you ever have, because you think that it'll make you feel good. So in these stages where your life is sort of starting to take off, where my life is starting to take off, I now am sitting back and I'm disciplining myself. It's such a fun thing to do, to not look at the Facebook likes and to just do the things that make me feel good. Making these videos makes me feel good. Talking with Stephen makes me feel good. Playing with my cats makes me feel really good. And interacting with these fantastic people that are coming up into our lives, that makes me feel so good because the energy's high, they're aligned with their own lives, they're going places with their own lives too. So they wouldn't come into our experience if they didn't have that sort of energy alignment at the foundation of their being. Some might call it connection to spirit. But we're all on this great journey together. And it's just a wonderful thing. So if you can laugh with me about these crazy things that we can do sometimes to hold back the energy, because energy, this whole universe is based on vibration. And when I'm checking for evidence, I'm not trusting Source to bring me what Source has promised. But it's all there, and it's all still happening, it's all still working, it's all still going beautifully. Nothing's changed except that I have been getting stressed and not feeling the enjoyment of the journey, because the joy is in the journey. We came here to enjoy ourselves. If you're not enjoying yourselves, you better make a shift really quick, because that is what you came here to do. So laugh along with me at how I've been doing this funny little thing that holds back the energy, and watch as the things that you have done in your life, when you start to shift them, it shifts in, if not overnight, I know that these things shift in 3 days. So I got a distinct message to do this for 3 days and then just enjoy myself along the way. Enjoy myself along the way, and that's what I'm doing. Isn't it great? Isn't it great when you can just enjoy your life? Don't you reckon that was what you were meant to do when you came here? Don't you think that was your intention when you turned up on the planet? To enjoy your life, to enjoy things just the way they are, to have fun, to live, to go to beautiful places, to meet amazing people, to live out the fairy tales of your dreams. Wow, I know that's what I came for, and I'm doing that now. I'm living out my own fairy tale. I've written my own fairy tale. I keep getting these words, it is written. It is written. So it's like this ride that we're on, it's already been predicted somewhere, it's already been written. I'm not quite clear yet of what those words really mean. I've got my ideas about what they might mean, but it's really exciting for me as I go along this path to find out what it is that's been written, that is describing and that is pulling us so strongly, so powerfully, so clearly, so cleanly, so effortlessly into the next phase of our lives. So it is written. I'm so excited to find out what it is that's been written. what it is that's been written, because it has some incredible power. God's Spirit source has the power. It's not us that does it. Stephen and I say to each other every day, you know, it is just extraordinary to think that we could have this expansive love that keeps expanding every day. It's not just a human love. I mean, we keep bringing God into our experience. We bring God into our arguments, and God settles the energy, you know. So it's a really beautiful way to live life, to include that fundamental part of life that sometimes we forget, sometimes we shun because we can't see it. But we can feel it, that Spirit, that source, that God. We can feel it. You can feel when you're on your path. You can feel when things are meant for you. And you can feel too when things aren't. Let those things go and just go with the ones that feel good. Feeling good, that's your indication you're on your path. That's your indication you're on a thought, and on a thought form that takes you to the future of your dreams. Love you. See you another time.